What's up, y'all? I'm glad to be here with y'all, and I'm glad y'all are here with me. Or do I say it the other way around? I don't know. But this is gonna be like a little more of like a unprofessional video. That's why you're sitting down with me instead of standing up. Because these videos are gonna be harder to make. But I don't want to hold you here too long. Y'all gotta get in the green.
I feel it. Honestly, go. Can't say how I'm feeling inside. I wanna be serious, but got too much pride. I wanna be serious, but I'm really here. Don't really like here, but I tell you, I tried. I did everything else.
So this video is just gonna be me talking about how I got back into my artistic journey and what message I may have for people who may be trying to get into art or maybe are trying to revive their artistic journey. Because for me, I think I was an avid artist for a long time. I mean, I wasn't good, but I was a kid that drew all the time. I was known for it in school. But I'd reached a point where my expectations of my work were surpassing my own skills. So I draw something and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like, the stuff I see on Instagram or like the stuff I envision in my head. And so I was at such a point where I was so dissatisfied with my work, I just thought maybe it wasn't meant for me anymore. So I wouldn't say I gave up on it, but I became very infrequent with the amount of times I draw. There were like month-long spans where I wouldn't draw anything at all, and if I did, it just didn't look good. I almost thought I wasn't going to do art anymore. It was a depressing thought considering I had almost built my identity off of. And while that still is something I should discuss in a later or next sit-down video, we're not really going to talk about that part. My fault, chat. I had a cough. My artistic journey was revived by a multitude of things, but I'd say mostly being the two things being my comic and the art trip that I took while I was in my senior year of high school. It's weird to say that because that was last year. But anyway, I was in an art class. My teacher had this trip that we were going to go to like Jackson and go to art museums and look at the stuff there. And originally I almost didn't go. I was like, because the trip cost $300. It's not like that would have come out of like my paycheck, my pockets. And it's not like my checks were like anything crazy at the time. So it's like I almost didn't go. But she really wanted me to. She pretty much pressured me to go. Like she strong-armed me into doing it. And I was like, you know what? Who knows if I'll ever go to an art museum in my future? Who knows if I can even go on a trip anytime soon? It's not because my family's not the kind that goes on trips. We don't have the means for that, So I was like, you know what? Let's take a trip. But it wasn't just going to be like a little trip where we'd go to like art museums and stuff. We were going to sign up for workshops where we'd work on our crafts. I'm going to pause real quick and check if the camera's recording. Okay, yeah. I think I signed up for an illustration class and like not a figure drawing class, but like I forgot what the workshop was exactly. We kind of sat down and drew stuff that we saw. But the illustration class really revived my work because I was seeing an artist use the same medium that I've been using, and he was excelling at it. I wanted my work to look just like his. And doing the practices with other people that also enjoyed art, and just talking with people and seeing like, the works of greater artists in these museums, like these paintings, these works, especially like a lot of the African American art that I got to see. Like the Conjure Woman piece, and I have photos. I have to find them if I could show y'all. But I had photos from the trip, and it was amazing. But it kind of made it like a lot of the practices we were doing there. It removed the expectation of greatness from my work. All my objective was with those workshops was to make something, and because of that, my art was able to flourish. I'd finally taken the expectation of greatness off myself because that's kind of what was diminishing my work. I kept saying, "Oh, I have to make this great. I have to make it good." Because I'm the artist. I'm the guy that makes good work. So every time I draw, it has to be something good. But no, it doesn't have to be that way. You can just sketch something, draw something. You don't have to make fully finished pieces all the time. I say that a lot, but I truly do mean it, because I thought being an artist meant that every time I sat down and drew, it had to be something complete. I mean, we were going to a museum and seeing works that never got to be finished. It was just a sketch that they found of an artist and they put it up somewhere. We were seeing pieces made by people who just love the craft. And once I figured out that it was genuinely something I wanted to do, I pursued it strong, full send. And I don't regret that decision. Art has always made me happy. And I would always explain my views on art to people, and I'd explain to it as a means of talking, as a means of communicating. And one of the teachers I have even they expressed the same sentiment, so it validated how I felt. It validated the path that I was on, because yeah, it's like I am putting a lot of work into it, but sometimes it can feel like you're not doing anything. It does feel like that, but when you truly are dedicated, you'll get the results that you're aspiring for, and you won't even realize it. I mean, I kind of just told myself I'd just draw something every day. I'd put my pen to paper at least once to do something. Maybe even not draw. Maybe take notes in my sketchbook. Like, this is the old sketchbook I have. I have a new one. The new sketchbook I have, it's mostly notes. Like, it's like math homework and like storyboard scripts. Like, look, this isn't the math or the storyboard scripts, but this is like one of the things. Like, this is what a sketchbook page would look like for me. Like, just, it doesn't have to be anything amazing. Or like, here's Balloon Man. I love drawing Balloon Man. He's a character I made up for fun. He's not in Eat Kings. I'll stop that sentence there. He's not in Eat Kings, period. I don't want to say anything more. Yeah. I just kind of made my sketchbook a home for me, and that it's like that workshop allowed me to truly trust the paper and my own abilities in making work. And after that trip, it definitely got me wanting to truly pursue my artistic career. And I was like, you know what? I need to learn digital art. And I knew I needed to learn digital art because I'd been so hell bent on not learning digital, because I wanted to be like Rock Lee, basically. Like, Rock Lee was an amazing ninja, but he didn't know ninjutsu. He couldn't spit fireballs at people. He couldn't do that. But he could sure as hell beat the shit out of you. He could do that. And that's how I thought I'd be. I thought I'd be a guy who was amazing at traditional art and only traditional art, that I would never touch digital and know how to use it. But how was I going to make professional comics not doing digital? And there are mangakas that draw traditionally, but I don't have the tech for that. I don't really know how that works. I'm pretty sure they like scan their pages in. That's how that works, but I don't have the tech for that. So I make my comics digitally. I had to learn digital art just so I could make my comics, and it eventually became another medium that I could now use at my disposal. And I'm glad that I undertook that challenge. I'm glad that I pushed away my fears and I said, you know what, let's learn the thing that I've been pushing off for years. And it helped. Matter of fact, finding that new medium saved me. Because I started the digital before I went on a trip for my comic. So when I was on the trip, I was still in the beginning stages of learning digital. If I hadn't decided to change mediums, I probably wouldn't have returned to art as a whole. But I don't think there ever would have been a reality where I didn't try, even if it felt like it wasn't yielding. I don't think there's a single world, reality, or universe where I would just give up on art as a whole. Like I said, I made it my identity. I built a lot of things from it. So of course. And I guess now there's people that now look at my art and they're like, oh, I want to be like that guy. But in my head, I'm still not at where I want to be. There's still so much more I can gain, so much more to learn, so much more improvement. I am not at my peak. I've hit milestones, but I'm not at my peak. But y'all will be there to see it. And I know this video seems very loose and very incohesive, but I want it to be that way because it's more intimate, and the people will take different bits and pieces from it depending on what they what their ears tune into. And also because I now that I like do school work and everything else, it's not like I can plan and script videos and keep up with everything else. So my videos are gonna have to be informal and not as professional. So I apologize for that, but I do hope you enjoy the show. And I also need to step in and see if my camera's recording. Excellent, excellent. It is. And while we're in the middle of this, I'd like to tell you I have a Patreon. You should definitely support it. I'll try to upload like videos and stuff on there, like early and such. And please read my comic Eat Kings. It's something I'm working on. I hold it near and dear to my heart, and I hope that a lot of black folks in the future can look at it as a staple of black culture. Hopefully, like how we look at the Boondocks or Friday, basically. I want people to look at it like that. But anyway, after that trip and after I had started my comic got me drawing more. And it got me more enthralled in character design and settings, because I used to never draw settings. I would refuse it. And I mean, yeah, in my comics now, a lot of the time you may not see me actually go full-fledged with a setting. I mean, even Japanese manga artists, they won't even do their own settings. Their assistants will do it. So it's like me trying to put out 20-page comics every week. Of course, it's going to either be minimalistic or lazy in some areas, because I'm trying to deliver it on time to give you a consistent story. I don't want to lose you. Plus, I need to convey the story first, art second. Yeah, plus I actually got to plan the next one and do the sketches. It got me more deep into my craft. It got me addicted to it. Now I was basically practicing without expending the energy. I didn't have to force myself to practice, because I was doing it through this work that I enjoyed so much. I turned it into, instead of a chore, into a habit. It was now habituous for me to just sit down and draw. It would be inevitable that all that drawing would eventually gain me some more skill. Of course. I forgot where I was. I went off to speak with my brother for a minute. I think I was talking about maybe the art trip or just my artistic journey as a whole. But if you're someone, maybe you're a beginner watching this video. I don't know why you'd be a beginner watching this video, but maybe you enjoyed the story. You may have more potential than the current artist standing, because you don't have any implicit biases or rooted errors in your work. You have all the potential in the world to start with a clean slate. You could start very technical with the fundamentals. And the reason why I say deep-rooted errors is because a lot of self-taught artists are gonna, they're good because, they've been doing it on their own, but at the end of the day, they never sat and studied. And so there can be mistakes that they make that they don't even realize are mistakes, that start to kind of make their work look slightly off. But you won't have that, because you're being taught all of it. So take the chance and see where that pen takes you. Like, my experience now for art is, especially when I'm sketching, like with my pen, I wouldn't say see it, but I can see the path my pen needs to take from my drawings to, come out the way I want it to. I call it the pen pass, like just before I make the stroke, I can see where I need it to go. The pen isn't just an object in my hand, it's just an extension of my hand and arm. It's like an extra finger, basically. I can feel the tip at the paper, I can feel the surface of the paper, so it all makes sense. That's why I was having so much trouble digitally, because the pen didn't feel like an extra appendage that I could just graft onto myself with muscle memory. It felt like I was using a slippery tool, because the surface of an iPad is not the same as the surface of a sketchbook. That is true. But I do want to start making videos for beginner artists, like, oh, this is how I draw eyes, this is how I draw bodies, this is what you need to do to improve your art. But I don't know if my skills or my art is ready for that. If y'all think, or if y'all want tutorials from me, let me know in the comments, because I would like to supply you with videos like that if there are people who want to learn how to draw from me and not just see me draw. But I guess y'all have kind of made me an art teacher in a way, but more I'd just say I'm an art content creator. And it's crazy that I even got to this point, because I used to just envision, I'd be like, yeah, when I grow up, I never told people, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, but like I saw the lives YouTubers had, and I was like, oh, well, I kind of want to do that. I want to make art and share it with people and have people read and buy my art. And that's here. So like, if you got a dream, it's time for you to wake up. Like, for real. I mean, it's time for you to wake up and go do it, because it's quite possible. I was like, this is the version of me that I want to become, and now I'm just taking the steps to go to that. Long path, but it's not a bad route. Pretty view, I'd say. I think I'll stop the video here. I didn't want it to be like too long or anything. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Let me know in the comments if more sit down videos like these where I just talk to the camera is welcome, if you may prefer it. Remember, I have a comic called Eat Kings on Webtoon. You should subscribe to it, because I just put out a chapter like right now. You don't have to read the shorts, but if you do, it'll help, with some lore stuff that I'm trying to set seeds for. But you can just start on the more recent chapters that I put out, the ones that actually have the Eat Kings logo in the thumbnail of it. Follow my Twitter. I know I don't post on there as much as I could, but just follow me on there. I'm probably going to be on there like once every 40,000 years, And I would tell you to follow my TikTok, but you're probably on my YouTube because of TikTok, so yeah. But like I said, I don't want to hold you too long. You've got to get your daily doodle in. Please get in the green. Your lovely audience. What up, Green Goblins? I forgot I had to let y'all know. Please like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, press that bell, please. You gotta know when I upload. And comment. I actually would like to hear from y'all. I do read these comments. I'm so for real. So please engage. Please be there.
Can't say how I'm feeling inside. I wanna be sealed, but got too much pride. I wanna be sealed, but I really help. Don't really like help, but I tell you I tried. I did everything else but cry. I done smoke all my weed, young nigga on fried. You can see all this shit in my eye.